Hi guys, this is Sandy. I thought I'd try my hand at streaming, which I've never done before. So yeah, let's give it a go. I'm playing Uncharted Golden Abyss, still one of the greatest games on the Vita. And thought I would just start from the beginning and yeah, have a play.
I'm telling you, it was Drake. You tell your men to up their game or there's gonna be a lot less of them around come payday.
Son of a bitch. I'll see you in
This
hell.
is for me one of the must-play games on the Vita. It's just brilliant. Hey Marcos, how you doing? Thanks. Thanks for joining in this little experiment. I haven't played this game in so long.
I gotta get out
Hey,
there.
Drowning Lemming.
Of course, that's easier said than done.
So I'm actually playing this on my hacked Vita. So with a hacked Vita, you can actually stream straight out. Yes, it is PSVita footage. Yeah. So I'm playing on my hacked Vita, and you're able to stream straight from the Vita itself, which is quite cool. So for normally when I record video, it's always on the PSTV, and the problem with that is when you've got games like this or Little Big Planet or something, because they use the front screen or the back touch, it's always a bit of a pain because you can't really play those games. So I thought, yeah, it's this is, since I can now do this, I thought maybe I'll give a go at streaming. So hopefully the audio is all coming through okay. I'm just playing obviously, so I can't tell if it's all working, but yeah, hopefully it is. Hey, Crazy Clown. Man, thanks guys for joining. This is still such an awesome game. Hey, Ashwin.
Dante's orders.
One of Dante's mercenaries. Bastards.
Yeah, definitely recommend this game if anyone hasn't played it. So Ashwin, you just got your Vita just now, which is crazy. That's very cool that people are still buying a Vita in 2020. So I'm just playing this on normal. I thought I'll just give it, just try it on normal since it's been so long since I played it. Don't want to make a complete fool of myself online. So this is Uncharted Golden Abyss. Down in London, just asked. Yep, Uncharted, Rayman, Freedom that was a great game. Can't go wrong with any of it. So maybe one day I'll do Freedom as well. Another superb game for the Vita. Ah, thanks Marcos, appreciate it. So in case you guys didn't know, or if anyone was watching this after the stream, this is one of the launch games for the Vita. And it's just brilliant. It really kind of showed how the Vita was a AAA machine back when it first launched. Obviously we didn't get a huge number of AAA games for it, but this still, was really impressive when it came out. Yes, Gamer Giffen, yes, I have tried Helldivers. Great game. I could not finish it. Really hard. I think I played for a bit and just gave up after a little while. I just couldn't get that far, and did get a bit frustrated at times because I kept killing myself. So I never finished it, but still really enjoyed it. Crazy Clown, no, I'm not gonna finish it. I'll finish it tonight. It's 11:23 in the UK, and I got work tomorrow, so I thought I'll just just kind of play for a little while and just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to be finishing it tonight.
I need backup.
So I'm just gonna. So Dynasty Beta, thanks for joining. Oh yeah, same problem I mentioned about the touchpad. It's when it comes to the PSTV, it is super annoying. You can use some games just don't work on the PSTV. They just won't load at all. But you can do a whitelist hack on a PSTV, which allows all games to play, which is really useful. So it doesn't. It's not like a proper hack where you can't add any kind of games that I've actually, I've got that hack on this Vita I'm using right now, but the whitelist hack just allows you to play all games. So things like this or Little Big Planet, like I mentioned, they could not be played on a PSTV otherwise. So it's really a useful hack to put in, just so you can play games like this. It's still not perfect because you can't do any of the camera stuff, but you can click on the DualShock 4 thumbsticks and you'll be able to kind of mimic the touchpad back and front. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, get what you mean, Dynasty Beta. Sorry, yeah, you couldn't do the gyroscope stuff. Yeah, that's a pain. That's definitely a pain. Hi, Kelly May. Yep, agree. Long live the Vita. So Ashwin, you asked about the color of my Vita. So I've got 7 Vitas, which I know is way too many, but the 3 I use mainly are all black. One is a hacked one is my EU account, which I use pretty much all the time, and the other is a US account, just so I can make sure I've got all of the different games available on the different stores. I've also got a silver one, a Dragon Quest Builders one, Danganronpa V3, and a white one. Oh no, I've got one more. I've got a broken black one as well, so I've got 8.
Yeah? Which year? Got a couple good ones.
Oh, really?
Way too many.
Okay, one.
Yeah.
Hey, Einstein.
Yeah, Crazy
What?
Clan, agree.
You know the
Unit
16
13.
pop.
That's
can read
a
Spanish?
brilliant game. I was thinking,
Yeah, I know that. We got
if this is a cool thing, if people enjoy kind of tuning into my streams, then maybe I would just do
here, we take the
Vita
scenic route.
exclusive games or PSP exclusive games
Last
as
time we
well,
took the scenic
since
route,
that's
one
kind of
over
what
the
my
ditch behind
YouTube
Taj
channel is
Mahal.
all about, really,
Thank you.
Vita.
Well, it don't
So
get any more scenic than that.
yeah, I thought
Does it?
that would be kind of cool just to do Vita and PSP games. Oh, Marcos, okay. I actually, it's probably one of the problems of me kind of actually seeing the game on the screen. I can't actually tell what the quality is like. I wonder if there's a way to change that. Let me give it a go. Ah, no, it doesn't look like I can do anything. Hopefully it's not too bad, guys. Apologies if the stream isn't great.
Are you keeping up or what?
What's
You
the
know, if I
hurry?
do this again, I'll try and make it better. I do have a wide connection right now, so I thought it would be okay, but maybe not. That's a shame. Okay. Well, thanks for being here anyway, guys, even if the stream isn't perfect. Ah, Fletch, you got the OLED metallic red. Nice. I haven't got any of the kind of red or blue or orange ones. I really kind of regret that. I really want one.
Trust me, you don't want to sell it.
Brian, yes, I've got the Hori remote play grip, and I've also got the recent one that's on PlayAsia right now, with the front L2 R2 as well. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I did a video of it recently, but it's the Hori grip is the best one. It just feels really good. It just feels like kind of a quality sort of grip. Feels really strong and sturdy. The other one with the front
where's my
R2
roll?
L2 are good, but
No
not as
expert,
good
but
as the
say it's
Hori
been
one.
cut.
But I think that's really hard to get these days. It's really expensive.
Guerrero? Drug runner, I kidnapped tourists for ransom.
Hey,
blow
Marcelino
up
from
the
Puerto
Panama
Rico. Hey,
Canal.
thanks for
Roberto
joining.
Guerrero?
Oh, you've heard of him.
Deaf kids in Caracas have heard of him.
SOCOM on Vita. Was that the PSP one? I don't remember
Backyard.
there being a
Goddamn
SOCOM on
general,
Vita.
Right? The revolutionaries lost the
Ah,
war,
thanks for
remember?
confirming,
And
Marcos.
besides,
Okay,
now he's
glad
just
it's
another
not too
pain in
bad.
my
I'll see what I
ass.
can do next time if I can get that improved.
Guerrero don't go where I'm taking
So now you're around.
Fletch saying Marcos might be on dial-up.
Just don't stare at my
Maybe.
ass and try to keep up.
I don't know. I wish I should have figured out a way to make sure I can see what you guys are seeing. So one of the cool things about this game on the Vita screen is that you can use this touch screen to climb up and stuff, which always made it a little bit easier. So I'm just doing that now, even though obviously you guys can't tell that. I'm using the touch screen to move up. Hey Breeks, it's echoing. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Not sure why that's the case.
This why I'm here?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Ah, Marcelinho, Sockum from Sockum for PSP. Cool. I haven't actually played that before. The PSP had loads of great games. Loads of great games. You know, it's probably the PSP was kind of, you know, my love for that is what got me to buy the Vita in the first place.
What do you think?
That's, you know, I was day one buyer of the Vita, had to. And actually the PSP, I bought that on a work trip to Asia.
That was different.
So it had come out just like a month before, and so I didn't want to wait for it to come to the UK, so I bought it when I was out there. Paid way too much money for it, way more than I would have paid if I'd bought it here. And then I also only had one game, Dynasty Warriors, which was in Japanese, so I couldn't really play it properly. And then just had to wait like months and months until it came out in the US and I could start importing games.
This is the great mystery that only I can solve.
Keep your pants on, will you? I'm getting to it.
Yeah, Brian, agree. Unit 13 was like
See our squad little
equivalent of
friends
SOCOM for the Vita.
Shit like this is scattered
Such a good
everywhere up on
game.
this ridge. Come on,
And really fun
smart
multiplayer as well.
guy. Who made it?
It was kind of cool to go
You're
co-op
quizzing
on that
me.
game.
I never thought I'd see
I remember
the
the
day.
first time I played
Making
Unit
sure you're
13
worth the
co-op,
price of admission.
I didn't realize the Vita microphone just comes on.
Look
And
at
so I was
this.
just like talking out loud to my wife, and the other guy was there just like listening
make
and
out
hearing
the
me,
symbol.
which was
It's too
a little bit
eroded.
weird.
All right, hey, try this guy.
So yeah, Dynasty Raider, yeah. Sonic All-Stars Racing, Injustice, Final Fantasy, those are great games for the PSTV. There's actually loads of the
Hey, watch it.
indie games as
Sorry.
well, especially.
Yeah.
They
You
work
gonna
so
rub this
well
guy
on
or
the
not?
PSTV, and
I'm
it's
getting to
it's
it.
a great game I found
Hey, we
for
ain't got all
recording
day.
footage for my channel. Oh, Marcos, I didn't realize that the Injustice doesn't look great on the PSTV. I think I played it first on the Vita, so I don't remember that it looked that bad. Now, why can't I go forward? What's the problem here? Do I need to go to the other statue? I wasn't actually reading what the instructions were, so I just because I was talking to you guys and looking at the chat. Oh, okay. Do I have to do that as well?
Let's try those.
There we go.
Be careful.
This is
Watch your
I'm
step.
playing
These planks
with
are
my
slippery as
save
hell.
where I platinum the game,
Especially if you're wearing
so
sea
all of the
turtle
puzzles are
boots.
already done,
It's called
which is good because I wasn't
style,
really
right? You
didn't
should
want to
try it once in a
spend
while.
time or didn't want
You
you
would
guys to have to
just
waste
see-
your time kind of just
look like
watching me
my
do
Uncle
these
Mike.
random puzzles.
Careful.
Okay, it's good to know Injustice is better on the
Afraid of
Vita.
heights?
I mean, the Vita screen, especially the OLED one, is just brilliant. So that probably helps a lot. And then the
Yeah.
PSTV, obviously, with the
If you
it
do
upscales
fall,
it to 720,
bury you
which
in
is what
those
I'm doing on
shoes?
this screen as well.
Sure.
As long as you get
Which
the
is
way it
not
sneakers to the
great
funeral.
because the Vita normally outputs at 540, so that doesn't help in terms of it. You know, it just makes it look a bit kind of pixelated on the
You're
edges.
dying on me now. Now while I still need you.
Thanks for your concern.
No problemo. That's what friends are
Yeah,
for, right?
Brian, agree. All those missing Sony franchises. You know, we should have had an original God of War game, an original Injustice game. It's yeah, it's a shame we kind of missed out on a lot of these classic kind of Sony franchises on the Vita.
Looks like I need one more.
Don't rub too hard.
But-
They're gonna
Yeah,
get
thanks guys
excited.
for joining. It's
Ooh, jealous?
very cool. People want to kind of tune in for Vita games. So looks like this puzzle I actually have to do. This one of the things I didn't like about this game was some of the light quests, the light puzzles. We had to shine the Vita up to light. That was a pain. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was on a train and I just got stuck at that point because the game wouldn't let you play
Look at this.
onwards until you actually
That's not
shined it to the
mine,
light.
Erasmus.
So which was just
Yeah.
like, okay, I just can't
I'd say
play now.
Moesca, but
So I had to just wait till I got into the office
Never
and then just shined
migrated
it to a
north of
light so I could
Colombia.
move on.
Nathan Drake, Walking encyclopedia.
Yeah, Fletch, I think you should
Cool.
try the Uncharted
Word
game
is
again.
part of
It's
Central America.
Golden Abyss is a really good game.
I got more to
It's
show you.
you know, it emphasizes puzzle solving and collecting, you know, just as much as kind of as fighting. But I really recommend it.
Whoa, whoa,
Um,
whoa.
Alacone,
Watch this
sorry if I
vlog.
pronounce your name wrong.
It's a
Yes, I
little
have
squirrely.
played the Batman game.
Swirly?
I thought it
Where'd
was
you learn
good.
that? Girl
Um,
Scouts?
it
Brownies.
what I didn't like about it is
I was
that
there
when you're
early.
playing
Ah, shit.
going through areas that you've already been through, all the enemies have disappeared, so you
What,
kind
are you
of
king of the
just
jungle?
It's a
you
road
know, you're
break,
you're
not a
playing
bomb.
through kind of an empty area, which, you know, I wasn't a big fan of. It was a cool concept though. You know, I think if they had tweaked it a bit, it could have been perfect. Drowning Lemming. Yeah, I agree. Those Joy-Cons are expensive as well.
Damn monster.
Totally agree.
Washing out the train.
Thing is, I think it's, you know, with memory cards, it's almost something that people would have expected to be their standard, rather than having to pay so much extra for. You know, I wish, you know, the PSV
See,
Go
what I
came
tell you.
out, what, like
Shit
a
like
year
this
or
is
2 years
everywhere.
before the Vita?
Most of
If
them.
they had just, and they had 16 gigs of memory on that. I wish they had just put 16 gigs of
Goddamn,
memory
I
on the
told you, yeah,
Vita, or
General.
something like that,
Now, come
or
on.
even 4 gigs or 8 gigs. It just would have made things a lot better. People would have appreciated it more. You probably would have had a lot less complaints from people. But yeah, it's just one of Sony's mistakes when it comes to handling of the Vita. Ah, Fletch. Yeah, the book's going really well actually. I'm actually really far along, which is great. I just the last 2 weeks I've been writing the Steamworld
There's something
retrospective
there.
and like
You reach it?
constantly just kind of updating and changing it.
Hold on.
It's one of these series where the developers are so great when it comes to doing interviews that I'm constantly finding out new things when I listen to when I read an interview or kind of watch an interview on YouTube. And so it's just you know, I'm kind of constantly just kind of changing that. So I need to just kind of buckle down and just finish that finish that chapter so I can move on to the next thing. But for you guys who are kind of, you know, if you are interested or following the book, I did a vote recently where I was asking people which retrospective they would want, you know, out of a few of them. And so I haven't kind of confirmed it on the Kickstarter yet, but Muv-Luv and World of Final Fantasy came out as the top 2. So once I've done SteamWorld series, I'm gonna get to those 2 as well. Yeah, Marceline, I agree. You know, there was definitely not enough third-party support for the Vita. It's, you know, well, actually, to be fair, we had a good third-party support in that launch year, and even for the Vita's launch. You know, EA, Ubisoft, you know, there was decent games coming out for really good games. But I think it just got this bad reputation with the memory cards that people just almost kind of gave up on it, and just it got written off by a lot of people.
Here, relax.
You know, within just weeks of launch, which was disappointing.
Style matches the symbol at the rope bridge.
Cliff Smith. You know what this thing is worth?
Right chance.
It's
The
just
Golden
the
Abyss great
beginning.
up
Come
until
on,
the end.
this way.
Yeah, I remember especially when you play on crushing mode, the last boss in this game is a real pain. It's all touchscreen, which is not fun to begin with. And then if you play on crushing, you can't make any mistakes at all. And it's just the screen was too sensitive, and I remember just doing that was a real pain. I mean, I did that just for the platinum. It's a lot, you know, more forgiving when it comes to normal or hard, but on crushing it was just yeah, not that fun at the very end. Other than that though, the game is great.
Good. Now we're having fun.
Yes,
If you say so.
actually, right chance. Yes, I am. I'm using the
Watch that
Hack
one.
Vita and OBS. It's the first time it's worked really well. Really easy to set up, which is really cool. Marcos, one of my favorite developer interviews so far. So for the first book I did, I actually got to interview quite a few people from the Vita's launch library, like the directors of some really big games like Escape Plan, Wipeout, Motorstorm. I got to say the interview with I'm annoyed that I can't remember the name, but the escape plan director, that for me was really, really amazing. You know, it was, I think I said to him, you know, we just have like maybe 20
to
minutes or
admit it.
something interview, and
might
it
be
turned
right
out
for
to
a
be more than
change.
an hour.
Always right.
And he was
So
going
we
into
still hang out?
loads and loads of detail and just telling me
Not a
about
bad thing.
everything going on.
You say rooms like
So it
this
was
are
really,
standard
it was really cool.
100 square miles and stuff.
You know, the whole, I didn't even
We
put
gotta
the
go
whole,
up through that
all
gully
the
up there.
text into the book in the end, because it was just so massive. But it was just a really cool interview. Fletch, yeah, so Muv-Luv, I think it's a favorite for so many people. So many people. I have played it. Did I didn't enjoy it that much. I think just the main character and some of his interactions were just a bit like I just wasn't feeling it. But you know, I kind of understand from everyone that it gets really good later on. But I just kind of struggled to get through the first few hours. But you know, I think for the retrospective, you know, one of the things that learning about how bad they treated Kickstarter backers was one of the things I want to make sure that kind of comes out in the retrospective as well. It's like there've been a lot of bad Vita Kickstarters, but it's just a real shame when something like that happens. And so I want to make sure it's given kind of balance in terms
Yeah, why don't you
of
go
how
take a look?
loved the game is, but
that why I'm
also
here?
kind of the
Be your
way
errand
they
boy?
treated those backers.
Okay, never mind. It's behind that thicket of bamboo. You can't get to it anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Snakecake. That's a
Thinking
fair
about
point.
this
They
one.
did have a lot of
You're playing
a lot of support from Japanese devs, definitely. And
Yeah.
even now, we're still there's still Japanese games coming out. You know, Square Enix, they've actually released so many games for the Vita, but a lot of them were in Japan and just never came to the West, which is a real shame. Things like Chaos Rings 3, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, these are games that definitely should have come out globally. So, oh yeah, Fletch, I've got X-Blaze, Lost Memories. I haven't actually played it though yet. I've heard good things about the series in general, but yeah, I haven't given it a go yet. It's some of these games are really hard to get these days, which is and they're just going to get harder as well, guys. It's games are going to become more and more rare, just because there's going to be less and less of them produced. So if there are games you want, then it's worth trying to grab them sooner rather than later. Especially when you think Uncharted Persona 4 Golden, which used to be like around $20. Now it's suddenly like it was like $80 or something recently I saw it for. And even Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, these are games that used to go pretty cheap, but somehow they've got really expensive now. So Brian, do a video on free Vita demos. Yeah, I could do that. There are a few, and actually one that I've always kind of liked is Run Sackboy Run. It's just a free
Yeah, they
game. It's
invented
really
something
fun.
that fixed that.
Auto runner,
Called
but
roads.
especially when it's
yeah. Well,
being a
up
free
here,
game,
they can be
it's
even
kind of
more
forgive
dangerous.
that it's not
Trust
that complex or anything. But I always quite like that game. Yeah, Fletcher, that's what I've heard. Get through the first two Muv-Luv games, and then you are, you're in a good position. The game gets a lot better, a lot more interesting. I think I just really struggled to get through that first one. That was the problem.
Where we started.
Oh, so we took the shortcut.
Ashwin, yeah, I play on my Switch.
Almost there.
Not as much as the Vita. I think I've just got too big a backlog right now. On my
Who's
Vita. I'm
shooting
still
at us?
playing that so much.
How do I know?
But I play on my Switch as
Come up here
well.
all the time.
Maybe Guerrero?
I am looking forward to XCOM coming out tomorrow on the Switch. XCOM 2.
You know how to shoot
I
that, or
love
you
that
just-
on Vita. So I'm looking forward to grabbing that too. Mr. Snakecake, yeah, I've played all of them. All of them are great. All of them are great. I think actually, and this may sound strange, but actually I think Odin Sphere is my least favorite one. It's a great game. I think
Great place to
the only
park a
thing that kind of
tractor.
I got a little bit bored of playing it after I think after about 25 hours or something, and that game went on still for like another 20 hours, and that was the only thing I think that really kind of put me off it a bit compared to Dragon's Crown and Muramasa. So Turinadu, go up and take a picture. I can do that. See if we can get a good screenshot from around here. So actually, one other really good thing. I don't want to go on about this being a hacked Vita or anything, but one really cool feature of a hacked Vita is you can take screenshots of anything. So playing PSP games or PS1 games, you can't take screenshots of them on a regular Vita, but you can on a hacked one, which I really like.
Start using razor wire.
You know how many looters they get down here each year?
Drowning Lemming.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, you want me? Sorry,
It's 'cause I'm
sorry.
special.
Do you want me to take a picture of the collectible? I've actually got all of the pictures and all the treasures already. So this is this is my platinum save. So I'm just kind of going through again. But so I've already done everything already. But
Nice job.
yeah, so I understand what you mean now. Fletch, most expensive game I own, probably Phoenix Vesta. I think that's probably the most
got it.
expensive one.
Oh,
Although I do
really?
have
I
a
got
few
this.
collector's editions as well, which have gone up in
Okay.
value quite a lot. Even things like some of the East Asia Soft games,
Thanks
like
for your
I Am the Hero and
Problemo.
uh,
That's
DB's
what friends
Dungeon
are for.
2, they seem to be really valuable these days. Yeah, I had Ease8, Danganronpa V3, Pato Box. I've got all of those ones as well. Those are all great. I actually did a video a while ago on kind of most valuable
Here we
Vita
are.
games, but I think that was a
What do you
year
think,
ago
huh?
now. I need to refresh that because
That's
it's
creative, obviously.
Dug
the
up
games
over
have
60
changed
of
so
the
much. Like I
bastards.
said, Persona 4 Golden
That's
is
a lot
so
of
expensive
balls.
these days. I
Here.
think it's there's a lot more. There's
Spanish.
been a lot of change kind of in
How
terms
old?
of the
tell
value
me.
of games these days.
Usually the
Tom,
regiments
yeah,
were
I know
insignia,
the
right?
Shantae game is not coming to Vita. It's a shame. It's funnily enough, I played it on my mobile. It was on Apple
16th
Arcade
century.
like
New
months
Spain.
ago. So I played
Guys
it there
died a
before
long
it
way
came
from
to
home.
Switch, so I'm
They
not
didn't
really
just
bothering
die, they
to
were
get it to
murdered.
Switch.
Oh, hey, whoa there, pal.
Jason, what are you doing out here?
Yeah, Snakecake, I
I don't
agree. The
know.
story for
You
Odin's Day
said
was
you were
really
going out to
good.
get supplies,
The
and
graphics
seeing
were
how you
amazing as
never
well,
lied, I
gameplay.
followed you.
Oh,
All
you
of that stuff
followed.
was great.
It's
I
not
think it
like
was
there
just
wasn't
the
enough
length of
problems.
the game just made it feel like, and repetitiveness. You know, you're
Snake
going
and
through the
Drake.
same
It's a buddy of mine from the old days.
level,
Hi.
same bosses, and it just felt like,
Snake.
okay, this is
Call me
going on
Nate.
for a little bit too long now.
Strong hands. I like that.
NJL,
No?
thanks for joining.
You're not
Yep,
one of
I did see the
Dante's
Vita
buddies,
Easter
no?
egg in The Last of Us
You
2,
have no idea.
and all the jokes going around about how the last Vita
wanna
player
tell
on
me
Earth
what
is
you're
killed by
doing up
Sony. So it's
Be the first to know.
maybe we'll
once
get to
I
see more of
find
the
out.
Vita in Last of Us
We're
2.
just doing a
I'm
little business,
really
all
looking
right?
forward to that game.
And I did tell you about him, you just weren't listening.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
So Drowning Lemming, I'm gonna definitely getting XCOM. Not gonna bother with Borderlands or Bioshock. I've played
Yes, I did.
the Borderlands games,
Go ahead.
Bioshock as well, and they're on PlayStation
What?
Now, which I've got.
What's he
So
doing?
it just feels like a little
No,
bit of
no,
a
no, 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 no,
bit
that
of a
wasn't
waste
the
to
part
try
of-
and buy them. If they were like
Alright, I'm
£15
on my way.
or something, I
Let me
probably
guess,
would
Mr.
just
Payment
jump in
Guerrero
anyway.
again?
Don't
But
worry,
I
Green
think
Lantern. I
I think in the
got
UK it's £35, which is just
the
way
hell's
too
going on?
expensive.
Put that thing away.
But XCOM 2,
It's
even
not.
though I
It's
do
just a
have
little
that on the PS4,
misunderstanding, that's all.
the
Alright?
idea
I'll
of
be
playing
right
that
back.
on portably
Well, don't just
is,
stand there, make
that's
yourself
what really
useful.
appeals to
You know,
me.
show 'em
It's
around or
such a
something.
great game. If you guys haven't played
Don't
it,
dig up anything loud.
XCOM on the Vita
Got
is
it?
great as well.
Wait a minute.
I got
But
my eye on you
XCOM
two.
2 is just awesome. I'm really hoping that it runs properly on
He's
the
really
Switch.
pissed him off this time.
It's one of the few things he's actually good at. And you.
So
Why don't you tell me
Turinadu, I'm
what
actually
you do
playing
with
on my
spying on
Vita.
your partner?
So I'm playing on a hacked Vita.
Partners.
And it's kind of
Right.
with a hacked Vita, you can stream
Sorta
it
how
straight
the
to the
Spanish
to a
were partners
TV or
with the Kuna.
to a computer. It kind of becomes
Spanish
almost
shot
like a
gold,
Switch,
while the
which is
Kuna
pretty
got
cool.
the shaft.
Ashwin, look, thanks for joining, man.
You know what happened?
I'm not gonna be on that much
Looks to me
longer
like
anyway, so
Spanish are the ones that got the shaft.
appreciate you joining on and
We don't know.
commenting as well. Thank you.
These soldiers were murdered. And not by the Kuna.
So yeah, this was
Look
just
for
a little,
yourself.
thought I would try and do something like this. It's really great. I really appreciate that you guys joined. It's
Turn it over and
it's
look
just
at the other
cool
side.
to have other people that love the Vita and want to talk about it,
No
and
crush
just see them online
use
as well.
mace.
So
Exactly.
thanks a lot for joining. It's
These
something, like I
soldiers
said
were
a little bit
poisoned.
earlier.
All
I'd
of
love to
them.
do this a little bit more and maybe just
Arsenic.
talk about just other Vita
Found
games and just
traces in the
feature
teeth
games like
fragments.
Golden Abyss, Unit 13, and maybe some PSP
So
games
this is
as
the
well.
great mystery that Dante
But I'm
says
thinking
is
kind
worth
of
a
games that
fortune?
didn't come out for other systems and just
I don't get
focus
it.
on PSP and
Wait
Vita
a minute.
games.
Wait a minute, he did mention you. Oh, you're the expert on
Switch, yeah,
esoteric
Fletch, your
books,
comment about
maps, artifacts.
Right.
about
Like
missing
Dante would know
trophies
esoteric
on the
means.
Switch.
This?
I do miss
This
them.
is
I
what
think
I
when
mean.
they're done well, they
Upgrading
really
mode?
can drive you to
Is it?
kind of see more of a game and do more of it. But I don't know. I think recently I found a lot of games just are not implementing trophies that well. I think it's the Vita
Mark,
especially.
it's
We're not
Spanish.
getting that many
No,
new games, and
no, it's
you
like
know, a
nothing
lot of the
we've ever seen
Ratlaker
before.
games, they're kind of all just
No one has
easy
any
trophies,
idea
which
what
I
it
really dislike. So I don't really mind kind of
You
not
know.
having trophies these days as
No.
much as I
You
used
know
to.
what it means.
But definitely,
Oh,
if
come
the
on, I've
trophies
been
are done
around
well,
treasure
it can
hunters my
help a lot.
entire
It really
life. I
kind
know
of
that
makes
look
me
when I
want to
see it.
finish more of the game. But I think I just haven't seen that as
Okay.
much as I used to, as I'd
Well,
like
you know
to
what?
as well.
Dante's trying to cut me out. And you know he'll
Hi
do the
Robert,
same to
thanks for joining the
So?
stream. Yeah,
That's
this
your
this game is awesome. I mean, hopefully,
you.
guys,
Come on,
the quality of the stream isn't too
Tell
bad.
me.
It's
Give me one good
you
reason.
know, like
Mesh.
I think somebody Marcos mentioned
How do you
earlier that
do?
it wasn't looking great for him, but
Really?
I'll see what I can
Oh,
do
this
next
is
time and
nice.
try and make it a little
First,
bit
because
better.
you can actually trust me. And second, because Dante
Drowning
hasn't
Lemming,
seen
yeah,
this.
somebody else recommended Macross
Well,
Delta
that's
Plus
a
to
good
me actually
reason.
recently.
Oh.
I was trying to
Thanks.
find, so I'm thinking to order it from Play Asia.
No.
I was hoping there was
What?
maybe
Why?
an English patch for it, but
If
it
you
doesn't
know
seem
Dante
like
at
one's
all,
available.
You know he's not the kind
But
of guy you should cross.
yeah, I think it looks
Alright.
like a great game.
Whatever.
I've really loved
Oh, wait.
Zone
Doesn't
of
mean you can't
Enders
still
on the
have a
PS2.
deal.
So it seems like a
Just
really cool
leave
game to
Dante
buy.
out,
So I think I'm
man.
going to grab that.
You show me yours. I'll show you mine.
Ooh, Marcelina, good question. If I could create a new PS Vita, what would
I
I
don't know why
change
I
about the
trust
current
you.
one? I think I would get rid of the back touch.
Here.
Get rid of the back touch and put in like at least 32 gigs of
My
space.
The art.
1080p screen.
Never seen anything like it.
I mean, those are the main two
Hello?
things.
Your
R2
turn.
and L2 as well. It's
Oh,
you know,
sorry.
gotta
Grab my
you
pack.
really need those buttons. I'd keep remote play going as well, but you know, I think the back touch was probably a little bit unnecessary. Actually the cameras were unnecessary.
Okay.
If they had just
First
kept
of all,
everything the
believe it or
same,
not,
got rid of
this
those,
symbol
made
is
it maybe a little
Visigoth.
cheaper if possible,
Visigoth.
and put in the
It
put in
can't
some
be.
storage, I think
know.
it would have
Last
done a
of
lot
the
better.
Visigoth kings died in the, what,
Hi
8th
Robert, thanks for
century?
joining.
Long before the
Actually, I mentioned
Spanish
earlier, yeah, the
conquered
book
all
is
this.
going really well. I'm currently writing the Steamworld retrospective, but yeah, it's going really well. I'm working on the magazine as well at the same time. And so that again,
Charcoal
it's
rubbing? Oh, very cool.
probably about 70% done with the
See
book,
faint
and
markings
probably
go
about
all around the symbol.
40% done with the
How did I
magazine.
miss this? Now I know why Dante wanted you up here. So you know what it means?
No.
Hi Jeffrey, thanks for joining.
Yes.
Unless what?
Get down.
John, so you just got a neon orange Vita. That's great. That looks really cool. It's you know, I really want to buy more different types of Vita. I'm just kind of worried about, do I really need to have 8 Vitas, which I definitely don't. So that's one of the reasons I haven't bought more of them right now. Oh, Fletch, yeah, adding rumble. That's a good point. That would be good. It does help on some of the games on the Switch. It's you know, some of the rumble on the Joy-Cons actually does pretty kind of improve the immersiveness of some of these games. Hi Jeffrey. Oh, sorry to hear you've been feeling ill. It's hopefully you're getting better, and hopefully it wasn't too serious like COVID or something. I heard recently one of my friends had COVID, which is pretty crappy. He had quite a tough time with it. Yeah, hopefully you guys are all kind of staying safe out there as well. How many of you guys have played Golden Abyss? It's kind of one of these games I assume like nearly every Vita owner has played. This is Persona 4 Golden. Oh. Thanks, Jeffrey. It was you who recommended it to me. I knew someone did. It was recent. It was only like a couple days ago as well. Cool. Yeah, I was hoping there was an English patch for Cross Delta, but Yeah, I think I'll grab it anyway. So Fledge, do you think Sony will change their mind about another Vita? I don't think they will. I don't think so, unfortunately. I think they've pretty much given up on the Vita completely, which is a real shame. Like this, even though it is like 8 years old now, it's still such a quality machine. You know, still, you know, one of the things I like about it compared to the Switch is just the portability of it. It can do so much and it's so portable. Whereas the Switch still just feels a bit too kind of big and bulky to me.
Doesn't look like Dante's cleared up his little misunderstanding yet.
Hey, you're not gonna tell him about our secret, are you?
Let's worry
So
about that
Robert,
after we
yeah,
get out
so
of here.
yeah, I did mention this earlier, but that's
It's
okay.
just that-
So I'm actually playing
What?
on my hacked Vita.
Never mind.
So with a hacked Vita,
Hey,
you can
come on.
actually stream out
I know a
to
trail
a
we can take
screen.
that leads to the strip mall.
So you're right, because on the
Right.
PSTV you can't do the
shortcut.
puzzles and everything, and you need to hold the Vita to the light, that sort of thing. But on a hacked Vita, it's basically I'm literally using a Vita and just streaming it out onto the monitor, and then streaming it out to you guys, which is it's really cool that you can do that. Oh yeah, Jeffrey, that's the PSP was kind of like there for so many actually big life events for me, weirdly. So, you know, I was playing it when I was how old? Maybe 25 or something. And so
That's just
during
great.
that whole 7 years before the Vita
start
came
glowing
out,
in the dark?
you know, that was when I met my
That's the
wife and we
detailing
got
area.
married later on. I took it on honeymoon, we went on
superfine
holidays,
site
I'd
in
always
Vita.
have it. When my son was born, I was
Yes.
playing Kingdom Hearts
That's
Birth
where
by
we're
Sleep.
going.
Yep.
You know, I kind of remember a lot of big life events, you know, with the games I was playing at the time on my PSP. B Kemba, right? What's my favorite Vita game? I think actually it's I've also said this kind of once before, a couple times before, but I think it's Ys 8. It's just a brilliant game. If you haven't played it, it's an action RPG. It's, you know, there's a few Ys games on the Vita and PSP, but I would definitely say that's the best one. Really good game, great graphics, great gameplay. Really long as well. It's a solid game. Robert, yeah, so I've been playing again the Cold Steel series. I'm still not finished with it. It's massive. Even the first game is massive. I tried jumping into Cold Steel 2. I thought, okay, let's just, you know, Cold Steel 3 is coming soon on the Switch. How about I just jump into skip number 1 and just jump into 2? And then I thought, okay, so I played it and thought, actually, I need to go back to play 1. So I didn't restart 1. I came back into 1 again. And so I don't think I'm anywhere near finishing these games. So I'm going to hold off judgment until I fully finish them, and then I'll kind of say how I would rank them. I think they almost need to go together on the list rather than separately.
Are you sure this is the trail you took?
Safer than it looks.
I'm not worried about me. I do this for a living.
I'll be fine.
That's cool, Jeffrey. You used to live in Southeast Asia. I had your
Whoa.
Vita then.
Whoa.
What whereabouts
Why
were you
don't I
living?
just stay here until you get across?
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea.
If you guys, I mean, in terms of the E series, guys, I really recommend the PSP ones as well. Especially, it's not obviously kind of a 3D game, but E's, which one was it? Oath of Taldana, that's it. Great game. Really fun game. Top-down kind of action RPG. Really good. So if you're looking for kind of another action RPG to play, that's a good one. And it's available on PSN. So NJL, actually that was, I have considered doing a book series on the PSP. Before I was writing this book about the Vita, I did consider that first.
More ropes.
But
Hey,
it may be
Guerrero's men like
something
the
I come
khakis,
back
you know.
to once I've done these 3 books. That may be kind of the next project. I've kind of got about 3 different ideas for what I want to do next, and that's one of them. So I might do a PSP book after that. I must be blind. I don't know where I'm going right now. Jeffrey, cool. Well, look, thanks, man, for coming on and commenting. Appreciate it. It's cool to talk to you guys like this, just kind of live as well. John, thoughts on LRG and Nicalis holding back the last few games? It's annoying. It's annoying. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to be done with Vita collecting. I just killed myself. I kind of just want to be done with collecting these Vita games. You know, I love my Vita. You know, I love having all of these games, but it's just like, it just feels unnecessary to have these dragged out like this. So it is. I'm not that fussed about the Nicalis games, and I'm not sure if I can say the company thing. Unless it was Binding of Isaac, that's the only one I would definitely want. Other than that, wasn't as fussed about the other two games they had on the list. For Papers, Please, and Super Meat Boy, I definitely want those. You know, I really, really want those. But hopefully LRG won't keep us waiting too long.
I came up this way.
More ropes. Right. Hey, Guerrero's men like to cut these, you know.
Okay.
Would you hurry?
Fletch, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're scum, but it's
They're gonna cut the
not,
rope.
not a fan
I told you.
of some of the
Let me see what I can do.
stuff they've done. You know, and this, just holding back these games.
You got him.
Yeah, Tornado, no worries. That's one of the cool things about this Vita actually, that I can kind of take photos of PSP games, which is one of the reasons I thought maybe that would be a good option in terms of the next book. So Jeffrey, yes, if you've got your second Vita, which has got games from the previous owner, if you change accounts, it will delete everything from it. You can't change accounts and keep what's on a Vita, annoyingly. Yeah, TJ Kitsune, I agree. It hasn't been easy keeping up with all the
great.
Vita releases. I mean, I just can't imagine
Wait, whoa,
how
careful.
guys who collect the
Don't worry
Switch
about it.
can
Doing
keep
this
up with
since
everything,
15.
because there seems to be like
course
10
you
new
have.
games every week.
Nope.
So it is
Well,
definitely
wait.
easier for the Vita, but
Guerrero's men have cut my rope
still
again.
not that easy.
Seems to be a habit for him.
Oh, Kemba, yeah, I would love that.
Dante said Guerrero's never
To
been
have
out.
a Sony
Yeah, well,
handheld with
Dante says a
PS4
lot of
graphics, portability inside the Vita, memory, a micro SD
Alright, we
slot,
came up from
Bluetooth
over there.
5.
That's
Yeah,
another
would
trail
love
leads
that.
down to the road.
Yeah,
It's a
I
real
know.
miss that Sony
But-
didn't do
but
more with this
so
and
does Guerrero.
try and release like another version or a Vita
Another
Pro or
idea?
something.
No, I guess not.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a shame, Jeffrey. Then you're kind of stuck with the Vita from the other guy, so it's on his account, and they're getting trophies on that account as well, which is a shame. But yeah, no point losing and wasting all those games if you got them. Fletch, yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy Streets of Rage 4 from them as well, which is a great game, by the way. So good. Ah, Jeff, thanks. That's good to know, actually. You can speak Japanese. Very cool. I only really got into the Saga games recently, and so Romancing Saga 3 I played on the Vita last year, and then Saga Scarlet Grace I played on the Switch. Both of them are amazing, so if you guys are fans of RPGs, I put reviews up on my channels for both of them. Really good games, like really I was always kind of a Final Fantasy fan, and just always kind of assumed that was almost like the pinnacle of JRPGs, and didn't really experiment with some of these other games. But there's some, the Saga games
All
are
right.
great.
Listen, when you jump, just make sure.
Sorry, you were saying?
But you were 15, huh?
Yep.
Kelly May, yeah, it was very cool seeing the Vita appear on the Last of Us stream yesterday.
Oh, look out.
Very random and unexpected. Favorite Final Fantasy, Robert? I think it's Final Fantasy 12 actually. So I don't know if you played that one, but I love Final Fantasy 12. I think it didn't seem like I remember when I played it back on the PS2. It was one of these games where I thought it was just amazing, but then later on when kind of I think I just started using the internet more, I'd realized that a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was just an awesome game. Um, Oops, I just died again. Aside from that, then also love Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 6. World of Final Fantasy on the Vita is great as well. Performance issues, the graphics are a bit blurry on the edges, but otherwise, really good game.
Look out.
So B Kemba, so where did I get my Vita? So, I mean, all of my Vitas are kind of, I've had them for a while, to be honest. Actually, recently I got a white Vita, which was a friend from Japan managed to find one for me. But I think on eBay you can find a lot of kind of Vitas, second-hand only, really, unless you're willing to pay a lot of money. But you can find a lot of kind of Vitas from Japan second-hand, and normally the guys there are quite good at keeping their stuff in good condition. Cool, thanks for joining, Tiranado. Thanks for being there. Yeah, so Jeffrey, I haven't tried Saga Frontier 2. I might need to give that a go. I think given how much how good the other Saga games were, I think it's definitely got me more interested in the whole series. B Kemba, so Final Fantasy 7. Actually, the Final Fantasy 7 remake, I only finished it 2 days ago. Amazing. Actually, I gotta say that probably does replace 12 for me. It's kind of a weird one because it's not finished as a story. I'm not sure I should really count it, but when it comes to the Final Fantasy games, that just really kind of blew me away. I'm going to do a review of my channel for it. I know it's been reviewed by 100 million people already, but it just feels like one of these games I'd love to talk about. Ah, Robert said 12. Yeah, 12 is great. 9 is your favorite. Yeah, 9 is awesome. 10 blew me away when I played it on the PSP. Oh, sorry, on PS2. But I think that game, I made the mistake with that game to try and 100% it. I remember I was trying to get all the celestial weapons, finish all the kind of beast battles in that little arena, and I remember I played for like 120 hours, and I really just got sick of that game. So it was my fault, but I remember I didn't enjoy Final Fantasy X by the end of it. Hi VSN Gamer, thanks for joining. Oh, so there you go, John. So you got your neon orange Vita from Japan, complete in box. Yeah, it took a month to get here. Japan does seem to be better when it comes to looking after consoles. They're quite reliable when it comes to the quality of second-hand consoles. So Jeff, 6 to 8, your favorite Final Fantasies? Yes, I was not that big a fan of 8. I think I just couldn't, I just wasn't a fan of Squall as a character generally.
It's one of Dante's men.
But 6 was awesome. It's like, I think a lot of people have seen requests for Square to do a remake of Final Fantasy 6 with the Octopath Traveler's engine. I think that would be an awesome idea. Such a good game.
Is that what Dante's calling it?
That's what I call it. Dante calls it portfolio enhancement.
Speaking of Square Enix RPGs as well, Trials of Mana is also brilliant. It's another good game.
Let's go.
Oh, so yeah, Fletch, On Research. I've actually bought that recently for the Vita. I haven't started it, but maybe I'll give that a go as well. I think it was on offer, and so I grabbed it. Or I had like a 20% voucher, I think maybe last Christmas, so I grabbed it. But yeah, definitely want to try that. Guys, I'm going to shut the stream off, and it's after midnight here in the UK, and I've got work tomorrow, so I'm going to go to bed. But thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's been great kind of coming on here and chatting to you guys. So yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll try and do this again maybe next week. Try and do this once a week. But thanks so much, guys. Yep, take care.